All right, so I've washed all the miniatures in, or gave them a bath in warm soapy water, not too hot. I realised, this bendy plastic, if you put it in hot water, they bend even more. So I had to put a bit of cold in. Um, they were all sprayed in grey primer to begin with. This one I left in the grey primer, this weird stone, and I've just dry brushed him in some greys. I'm umming and ahhing what to do with this, whether I should just put some dark washes to pick out the runes and dry brush lighter, or actually have this like an energy thing. Some of them like an energy thing, like something is being summoned via the weird stone. Maybe these deeper ones will have like a glowing blue or green, and the other ones are merely, carvings on the rock. All right, got to make my mind up with that. So yeah, all got a grey primer, but then the actual figures got a coat of Games Workshop's Wraithbone, which is this creamy white. That really helps show the detail off, as you can tell. All right, so that's one skull short sword. Let's have another one. I hadn't spotted, there's a little pouring lug there. Can you see? I've got to remove that. So that's the second one. These, excuse me, these bases are very odd because I've stuck the figure to the base, but what you've got is, you've got this going on. So I've got to pack that out with milliput to get the base all one level, because that looks a bit odd, doesn't it? All right, who shall we have next? Oh yeah, the priest. And you can just see his eyes over the top of his outrageous beard thing. Okay. Oh yeah, you can see some of the grey primer there. I didn't quite cover it with the Wraithbone, but it doesn't matter. Last skull sword. Detail is lovely, really is. Colour wise, I'll come back once I've done the skin, because I've got to have a little talk about that before I decide to do stuff. Here we are, Nest. I'm in an RN again with her. Do I try and pick her freckles out? We'll see. Then we have Akko. I mean, that's a spot on resemblance to Akko. Look at that. He's got a cup of mead. Right, so that's him. And we've got Slaine himself. His nose is rather pronounced, I've noticed, since spraying him. There he is. That's his hero harness, which holds him in when he's going to have a warp spasm. Still, again, I'm in an RN on just what to do about the tartan. So there's him. Yeah, his axe was a bit bendy. I've managed to straighten that using the hot water, dipping it into cold water technique. The big bad, there he is. I thought this was a pouring lug just here and had to be snipped off, but it's not. It's actually part of his antlers. Okay, on his natty hat. So I'm really looking forward to doing this guy. He's got a lot going on in there. All right. And then finally, we have the warped Slaine. All right. So there we are. That's them in primed. Now I've got to decide on colour schemes for the skin. As always, I always do the skin before I do anything else. So I'll come back with the skins completed. All right, so we've got some progress then. Skin tones are on, faces are done, hair is blocked in, clothing is blocked in. Looks like he's wearing a nappy, but no, it'll be better than that. Slaine is, it's strange, Slaine is the figure that I'm least happy with. There's something up with that nose. I can't Stop looking at it. It's too big and too pointy. It doesn't look like Slaine. But anyway, there you go. Right, so it's Slaine. Oh yeah, and also, as you can see, I've put the milliput on the bases. This not only levels things up to the stand that they were on, but it gives each figure a bit more weight, so balances them a bit better. The skull swords. Oh, the skull swords. I've done their fuzzy bits in a yellow green, washed with known oil, and that's because they're not beards. That's actually straw. It's like a straw matting that the soldiers wear to protect them from the stench of their masters. All right, so I needed to paint that and try and convey that it's not hair, although it looks like hair. It looks like they're Norsemen, doesn't it? But oh well. I'm in the process of brightening them up, so hopefully I can go a bit lighter and try and convey strawness. Here we got Nest. I remember from one of the covers that she has ginger hair. She also has got freckles, but stuff that. I'm not going anywhere near trying to put them on. Slough Throt. Not much of a face in there, so I've already started on his robes. He's going to be all earthy colours, I've decided. I mean, both Slaine and the Drune Lords, they're all to do with earth magic and earth energy. They're all earthy colours. So yeah, he's going to be browns, and I think I'm going to have his headdress, which hangs down here. I think I'm going to do them as leaves. All right, so we've got a bit of green in there. Ukko is coming on. It's knackering my eyes trying to paint his details, but he's coming along. Another guy that hasn't got an awful lot going on is this Drune priest. You can see in there his eyes, and yeah, I'm doing greens. I've got to lighten all that up. I've put known oil over that. I've got to brighten that up, and I'm in the process of brightening up the weird stone. I've decided not to colour in. I'm going to leave them as is. All the interest bits will be the bones, which are scattered about. All right, so I'll come back when I've decided on clothes colours. I'll explain more on that in the next video, but I've got to decide on colour choices. And then the other update, I've got some new additions come along. Drune Heroes. So looking forward to doing this guy. There he is, just there. The Lord Weird Slough Feg, who I'm not going to paint in that scheme. He's going to be more like that, because he's the old horn god who refused to die, and is centuries of old and rotting, whereas on the back he seems to have a bit of a suntan. And this is a bit of an oddity. I always thought that was Medeb, right? But it's not. I now know it's pronounced Maeve. This is Maeve, and this is Megrim. This is actually, these are two personas of the same person. This is Maeve, who we see in a Ballard and Ellie story, who Slaine rescues from a Wicker Man, not realising that she actually wanted to be sacrificed because she wants to become an acolyte of Slough Feg, right? And later on, and I think it's in the Simon Bisley, the Horned King saga, she returns as Megrim. Slaine doesn't know that these two are the same. So you get two versions of the same person. If you go with Megrim, you get Robin the dwarf. So I don't know. I've got to choose which one I'm going to go with first. And then the one that I'm really looking forward to doing, Balor of the Evil Eye. This is such a Simon Bisley illustration. Before I called him Balor of the One Eye, I'm confusing him with a T-Rex from 2000 AD. Balor of the Evil Eye. He's a Formoan, leader of Formoan invaders from the sea, who has a laser eye, basically. But I'll talk about him when I'm doing him. So really looking forward to this figure. As you can see, the sculpt, 100% is based on the illustration, which ain't a bad thing. I'm looking forward to doing all the colours here, because look, Simon's gone with bronze, but there's greeniness to it as well, and I want to try and replicate that. On the back they've gone gold with a yellowish tint. So yeah, so I'm going to come back with these pretty much done, and I'll be starting my new friends. Well, I'm nearly done, nearly there. That's Maeve. I've just got to put some washes on her silvery bits and do her torch, and she'll be done. Slaine, nearly done as well. I've got to block in his tartan every other square with black. Slough Throt, I've made his beard nice and bright so it stands out from the brownness of the rest of him, and as I say, I'm doing his crown in as leaves. Alright, who else we got? Yeah, his mate is nearly done, like so, and we got a skull sword almost done. What I'm doing on all the skull swords is the skulls on their shields I'm going to pick out in gold. So we're nearly done there with this first lot. I'll just show you. I'm doing separate videos for my two supplemental sets that have arrived, and they'll be out in due course once they're finished. But this is Balor of the Evil Eye, who I have painted in quite a dark grey, washed with Nuln Oil, and I've highlighted him like mad in the brightest silvers I've got ready for the metallic green to match Simon Bisley's artwork. Come on, there he is. And yeah, my other box set I've got in primer stage right now. So the light's really bright today. Yep, Slough Egg. The original look for Maeve, the wannabe druid priestess, except there's something else to her, and that something, amongst other things, is revealed when she becomes an evil queen, like so, and her faithful dwarf Robin. So yeah, they're going to be done on separate videos, which will be coming out in due course. I've got to finish this lot off first.